Welcome back to Tiempo, talking this morning about big brothers and big sisters here in New York City and the particular need for Latino volunteers. And joining us this morning is Hector Batista, the executive director, and Rodney Mendez, a longtime 5-year veteran and volunteer. I wanted to ask you, again, addressing the shortage, it's pretty drastic when you illustrate the number of little brothers and sisters that you have and the number of big brothers and sisters that you have. Break it down for me so that people can see the disparity.
Yeah, we have about 40% of our littles of Latino descent, and only 9% of our bigs come from the Latino community.
And that's a pretty sizable.
That's a pretty sizable
between the two.
Between the two, absolutely. And obviously, we're encouraging people to become bigs, but having more Latinos, I think, would be helpful to these young people.
Hector, how do you go about matching a big brother and a little brother, or a big sister and a little sister?
Well, that's a great question. Our bigs go through a very thorough background. Yeah. They fill out a questionnaire. Our littles are going through a similar. They fill out a questionnaire also, and then what we try to do is take similar interests, or if they like baseball or different interests, and we try to match them up through a social worker that comes into the equation, and you know, who has a lot of information from the family, and then that's how that match becomes solid, because we have similar interests from both the bigs and the littles.
I would suspect, Rodney, that you grow up pretty quickly when you have the responsibility of a little volunteer, of a little brother or a little sister, and that they're looking at you for guidance, for direction, for education. And I would assume that the conversations can get pretty intimate, that things that they share with you that perhaps they wouldn't share with their parents. Talk to me about this experience for you, and why, if anyone is watching, whether considering they should be a big brother or a big sister, why you think it's a move they should make.
Well, as a Latino growing up here in New York City, I was fortunate enough to have mentors growing up. And
were they family? Were they friends?
No, they were friends. They were teachers who I still am in contact with now today. And it's always been ingrained in us in some way or another in the Latino community to always give back. And being from El Barrio here in New York City, it was just a natural fit. One day I just said, you know what, now I'm ready. I'm ready. I want to give back. I want to do something more and help a kid here from New York City. And as going on with what Hector said about the statistics, 9% male volunteers and female are Latino, and being that 40% of the kids are Latino, that's a big difference, and that really affected me to get more involved to help the organization. I do a lot more with the organization now than just mentoring. I help them with recruiting as well. And
what's the biggest stumbling block you come across when you're trying to sell the organization and someone is on the fence or a little hesitant? What are their fears?
That what is it that makes a mentor? I'm just a regular guy. I have a job. I go to work. I hang out with my friends.
And that alone, right?
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
And when you sell them on, hey, you know, you grew up here in New York. You grew up in these areas. You're Latino. You know, we all need to support each other and try to really push this.
Hector, give me the website for anyone who's interested.
www.bigsnyc.org.
bigsnyc.org. And what will they find there? Obviously, all the things that we've talked about and much more.
That's right. And they could fill out an application, and they will get information on how to become a big. And also, more importantly, also to donate to the organization, because most people think how you run this organization just for volunteers. We need to raise money to.
Buena suerte. Thank you guys very much. It's a great organization. Rodney, give a little squeeze to your little guy who couldn't be here today. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. Y muchísimas gracias to you. Thanks for being with us this morning. If you missed any part of our show, you can watch it online, 7online.com. That wraps up another edition of Tiempo. I'm Joe Torres. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Big brothers, big sisters, become one soon. That was great. I didn't want to mention that we couldn't be here because it was a school day, because this is playing on Sunday. So people will look at it and say, it's school day. Today is Sunday. So.